Welcome to another episode of NACIC Bible Stories. Have you ever prayed for someone else and wondered if God was listening? What if your prayer could save an entire city? Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful stories of pleading, mercy, and faith. A story of one man's courage to speak up for others and God's powerful answer. Get ready to journey through dusty deserts, mysterious messengers, and a city that turned away from God. This is the story of Lot and Sodom. Long, long ago, in a land of sand and sun, lived a man named Abraham. He was faithful, kind, and loved God with all his heart. One day, while resting near his tent under a tree, Abraham saw 3 visitors approaching. But these weren't ordinary travelers. They were angels sent by God. And they had a message, not just for Abraham, but for the world. God told Abraham, "I've seen the great wickedness in the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Their people have turned their hearts away from me. Their sins cry out like thunder. I must bring judgment." Abraham's heart dropped. His nephew Lot lived in Sodom. Surely there must be some good people there. So Abraham bravely stepped forward and asked, "Lord, will you destroy the good people along with the wicked?" Then he made a bold plea. "What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you spare it?" God answered, "If I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I will spare the whole city." But Abraham didn't stop there. He pleaded again and again. "What if there are 45, 40, 30, 20? What if there are just 10? And God said, "If I find 10 righteous people, I will not destroy it." That evening, 2 angels arrived in Sodom. They looked like regular men, dusty from travel. As they reached the city gate, a man greeted them warmly. His name was Lot. He was Abraham's nephew, and though he lived in a wicked city, Lot's heart still followed God. "Please," Lot urged, "come stay at my house. Rest, eat, and be safe tonight." At first, the angels said they would sleep in the square, but Lot insisted, so they followed him to his home. Inside, Lot's wife and 2 daughters welcomed the guests. They baked bread and served a special meal, but danger was lurking. Before long, wicked men from the city surrounded the house. They shouted and banged on the door. They demanded Lot send out his guests. Lot pleaded with them to stop, but they refused to listen. Then the angels revealed who they truly were. With a mighty hand, they pulled Lot back inside and struck the wicked men with blindness. The crowd stumbled in confusion, unable to find the door. The angels turned to Lot and said, "Gather your family. This city will be destroyed. Hurry, leave now and don't look back." Lot rushed to his sons-in-law, who were engaged to marry his daughters. "Come quickly," he begged. "The Lord is going to destroy the city." But they laughed. They didn't believe him. So at dawn, the angels took action. They grabbed Lot's hand and the hands of his wife and the hands of his daughters and led them out of the city. God had shown mercy because Lot still trusted him. The angels gave a final warning. "Escape to the mountains. Do not stop. Do not look back. Keep going and you will live." Lot obeyed. He led his family through the valley, leaving the smoke-filled city behind. But someone disobeyed. As they fled, Lot's wife turned her head. She looked back toward Sodom. She ignored the warning, and in an instant, she was turned into a pillar of salt, frozen forever in place. It was a sad reminder. When God gives us a path to safety, we must trust Him fully. Lot and his daughters, heartbroken but obedient, kept moving forward. Behind them, fire and brimstone rained from the sky. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were completely destroyed. Nothing was left but smoke and ashes. Lot and his daughters finally reached the safety of the mountains. They looked back, not at the destruction, but at God's mercy. Though they had lost much, they were saved. And all because Abraham had interceded, because Lot had believed, because God had listened. Let's pause and think, friends. What do we learn from this powerful story? First, we learn that God listens when we pray for others. Abraham didn't stay silent. He pleaded with God to save the righteous, and God listened. Second, we learn that God is merciful. Even though the cities were wicked, God made a way to save Lot's family. Third, we learn the importance of obedience. Lot's wife looked back when she was told not to, and she faced the consequences. Finally, we see the power of faith and compassion. Through Abraham's faith and Lot's trust in God, lives were spared. Now ask yourself, do I pray for others the way Abraham did? Do I listen to God's warnings like Lot? Do I trust and obey even when I don't understand? You can be like Abraham, a voice of mercy. You can be like Lot, faithful in a world full of darkness. And you can trust that God hears you, every prayer, every time. God is always listening. Even one prayer can make a difference. Even one heart can shine light in the darkest place. Thanks for joining us on this episode of NACIC Bible Stories. We'll see you next time with more stories that bring the Bible to life, just for you. Till we meet again, stay safe and be blessed.